So everybody's talking about the unions, right? You had the writer's strike, you had the automaker strike, you had all those kind of strikes going on. And for good reason. For good reason, right? Just trying to make a living wage. That's all they're trying to do. Make a living wage. Is that so difficult? And I'm a little bit on the mixed opinion of it. And I'll tell you why. So I currently work at a place that has a union, right? And I haven't been there too long, and I'm hearing all sorts of stories. What happened before the union? We needed the union in order to become a sustainable business and in order to get fair pay. I've worked at a lot of jobs in my life. This is my first one in a union. All my other jobs did not have a union, and we didn't need one. We didn't have bosses trying to completely screw over the worker, trying to get rid of their benefits, trying to get rid of their bonuses, their raises, etc. I've never had this issue. Never had this issue. And so I talked to a few people who've had other union jobs, and they were telling me, I've noticed that too, because I told them the same thing I just told you. I'm like, I've noticed that too. It seems like the only jobs that need a union are the jobs that need a union. In other words, the company itself is crap, trying to screw over you, trying to screw over the average worker. And I'm like, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. And the union dues are expensive. I'm barely making my bills, and I'm going to have to pay $200 after my first 3 months and then $90 every month for the union dues. And it kind of reminds me of the mafia, right? Like, business seems to be running smoothly, and all of a sudden the mafia comes in, or the mob, whatever you want to call it, and it's like, hey, 20% of all your income, and I'll make sure nobody messes with you. That's what it reminds me of. It's just like, oh, I was able to keep all my money, but all of a sudden you come in and trying to protect me against something that shouldn't need protecting against. And there was, more stories to the union, because the union apparently has been at my job for a while, right? Apparently, the person who was in charge of the union, this was many years ago now, apparently, but they were in, for lack of a better word, cahoots with the company. So that person ended up getting better pay and bonuses and everything if they allowed the company to screw them over. Less pay, less bonuses, less benefits, all that stuff. And people were like, yeah, it was terrible here for a while. The union really screwed us over. Okay, so the union's not always good. It doesn't always have your back. It depends on the person in charge of the frickin' union. That's what I'm hearing? Now, I did tell you that I was mixed. As far as opinions go, as far as unions go. Now, that was my negative opinion on them. Look what's happened with the auto industry, right? The whole strike that's going on there, and they're unionizing and all that stuff. The CEO was making $2-point-something million a year, and then she wanted to up her pay to, what was it, $30 million a year? Are you joking? And they weren't paying their workers enough to live. Okay. Now I can see where a union would be handy, because obviously the CEO is stupid and deranged and greedy and what else you want to call it. I've worked a lot of jobs in my life. A lot of them I regret leaving because I was young. I was stupid. I thought I could get a better job. It turns out that was one of the better jobs. I don't want a union job anymore. Anytime I hear about a union job, and now that I've got one, it's like, not worth it. Not worth it. Need to find something else. I would like to hear your opinion on this, because obviously I'm a little bit biased because I haven't had much experience with them, only based on what I've heard and my experience with this one that I've only been with for a little while. I'm still brand spanking new. What do you think?